Greetings, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday wherever you're on the globe. Here on TikTok Live at the one and only, the raw, the rare, the real, the tried and true Bloom from Within Love. I go by Bloomy. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right, hope y'all doing well wherever you are on the globe this wonderful Sunday, July the 24th, 2022. Now, I was inspired to come back and do a discussion with you guys again. What do you want part two? What do you want part two? And hopefully this is, again, a little cash, low-key discussion for those of you who feel comfortable and guided, of course, to, ponder that within yourself, but also to share your thoughts. Now, I'm going to be fair and honest and say that this part two was inspired by a duet that I just did with someone, okay, here on TikTok. And so, let's see, give me a second here. I'm going to turn down our chill music because I do want us to have some vibes, and you guys do see the MacBook here, but it's because of what I'm going to use it for, okay? So, what do you want? We talked about this, I want to say either yesterday or the other day. What do you want? What do we want? Right? And so this is part two, bringing us into our life's review. This is part two, bringing us to our life's review. A part of aligning to what we want and creating what we want includes being able to do a life review. Okay? It includes that. That's a part of it. Being able to sit with ourselves and do an honest assessment. Okay? So now, with that being said, I want to share, all right, the duet in which I did here on YouTube. I'm sorry, TikTok. I don't know what platform I'm on, bitch. Damn, bitch. Okay, here on TikTok, okay? So I'm going to share a duet I just created, okay? And I'm going to turn it up. Let me see. Come on, motherfucker. Click.
In my life, as a warning to others, is this: don't be a shitty human being. I've ruined one of the best relationships I ever had, and I ruined it. Not to play the victim, to own it. I tell you this, that it sucks. The hindsight is 2020. Don't allow for outside attention. Focus on your fucking relationship. Relationships don't work because, especially we as guys, can be so fucking stupid. And that the little bit of attention shown, that little bit of a rush that you get from it is nothing compared to the relationship that you have or the relationship that you're going to ruin. I have to restart my life, and it's my fault. And I own that every single day. So don't make the same mistake that I did. Delete your Snapchat. Delete everybody out that is not a part of your relationship. Just keep it your relationship. Value what you fucking have. Just value it. Because you might not always be there. I could ever use the stupid shit that I've done in my life.
I like how he says
as
that.
a warning to others.
Stupid shit I've done.
Don't be a shitty human being.
Don't be a shitty human being.
I ruined one of the best relationships I ever had.
He's ruined it.
Not to play the victim, to own it. I tell you this, that it sucks. The hindsight is 2020.
Now I'm gonna stop right there. Okay? So I wanted to share that, hold on. That little mini duet that I created on here on TikTok to open the forum to this discussion part two, okay? I want to say it was yesterday or the other day I came on and we were talking about, well, what do you want? Okay, what do you want in relationships, connections here? All right, I mentioned in the video how we need to be able to be it, become it, and bring it. Now, merging into part two, what the gentleman said here, I wanted to give credit where credit was due, where this was inspired from, okay? This life review. And don't take it personal. I mean, he's a man that happened to be doing the video, but this goes across the board. Okay. Somebody says, man, can I see glasses, bitch, right? Fabulous perspective. Couldn't agree more. Oh, okay. Right. Whoever said that, thank you. But, you know, to be fair, it's coming from, you know, there was an actual gentleman that came to that understanding, which I appreciated it. So it's a part of why I created the duet, because it was a masculine energy that was able, he said hindsight is 2020. He used himself as an example, and he basically called himself out on his shit. And I really appreciate that. I value that, because he was like, I'm not making excuses. Like, he just came out straight, shot it out, boom. He was like, I'm not gonna make no excuses, bitch. Like, whoa. So he was like, don't be a shitty person. I was like, that's point number one. It's like, don't be a shitty person. Don't make excuses. I was like, I just listened to him. And then he even got vulnerable. So, you know, I got to tilt my hat off to him, because he got vulnerable, like basically calling out what a lot of men struggle with. And he's like, men are so stupid. He's talking about himself, right? And I smiled, because I'm like, I didn't say it. Like, don't be mad at me, you know? But he was like, the little bit of attention that you get, the little bit of high. So he's addressing the addiction to attention, the addiction to, you know, having multiple chicks or somebody flirting with you and, you know, inboxing you and all of this shit like that. So he's like, don't get caught up allowing the, you know, the rush and the high to ruin some potentially beautiful connections, all because of this temporary rush he's talking about of, ooh, I got some attention from this, you know, this bad chick that's, trust me, she's sucking and fucking a good other 12 motherfuckers. Shit, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know, whoa. But I'm sorry. But people, he said it, y'all. I didn't say it. I'm going to click the button again. He said it. It's a common trap, okay, that men often, especially, you know, he was an attractive dude. I can see what happens. I see it. When I clicked on it and I saw it, I was like, yeah, shit. I was like, yup. I was like, he attractive dude, bitch. Boom, motherfucker, bitch. Oh, hoes be thirsty and shit. And so, you know, I saw it. I was like, yeah, I get it. But at least he's admitting it. And so what I'm doing right now, you guys, is opening up discussion and poo-pooing on the thought that, oh, you know, people like myself, whether you're a man or a woman, is looking for some type of perfect. That man clearly wasn't. Okay? I respect that. Hear me and hear me clear. I respect that kind of energy, because, you know, most folks try to keep up a persona for so long and so tough because they don't want nobody, you know what I'm saying, to see them any differently. They don't want nobody to see the flaw that they had, a weakness, a struggle. Okay? And so they rather, instead of just owning, like he said, instead of owning, they rather go around projecting and even poo-pooing on the ones in which they cheated on and was shitty dude. And then wonder why their life turns out to be a shambles, or they can never quite get out of vicious cycles with low vibratory people. So I'm setting the stage for you all to come in and share your thoughts on what the gentleman said there. We're doing What We Want Part 2. When you start dating people and going out, right, to get to know somebody, what are the first things you notice? So let me tell y'all, I'll help y'all out and start sharing my little shit. Boom, bitch. Okay, well, boom. You heard me? Okay, so what I started doing later in life, much later, much later, is when I do go out on a date, you know, even if it's the first stage, it's like we're friends or we're just getting to know each other, I pay very close attention. Okay? I pay attention to what the person is saying, okay? In other words, if they come in straight away, start talking about their exes, start talking about, yada yada straight away, and the only thing that I'm hearing them say is about how shitty or crazy or, one thing or another the woman was, the ex-wife, the ex-girlfriend, the last person they dated, okay? I start sitting and listening, and let me explain why. It's not to say I don't believe that these things happen. I know full well they happen because I have myself have experienced some crazy, outlandish, you would never believe kind of things, okay? But what I'm watching for, what I'm paying attention to is what this gentleman is talking about. Because even if it's not something to that extent of being a shitty person or cheating or whatever, but rarely do people come in and just owning, their role in situations where they needed growth. Because look, we live in a state of nose blindness. And a sign of growth for me as an individual that, sure, they could have gone through crazy shit. Okay, no doubt, no doubt. But the type of individual that realizes, like, wait a minute, let me heal, let me grow, let me be introspective. Where was I fucked up? What I'm saying? Coming in more so with, I've learned a lot about myself, about life. I've seen where, I needed further growth. And the reason why I was with this person that I'm saying was shitty, okay, which may or may not have been, but in part, it was due to my choices. Maybe I'm shallow and I chose that person out of something shallow and they was a crazy. And so now I'm going about saying they were a crazy, but I got into it because I wasn't mature. I wasn't introspective. I was stuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm using these as an example. So I look to see if people are coming in with introspection, or do they really believe their poopy don't stink? Because I'm done with those types. Okay. And, and the ones that need, they're in that program, man. They're just so locked in that program. And so they're looking to be constantly lifted up, a lot of cheerleading. And so they need to make their exes look small and toxic. And they even need to make the person that they're sitting across the table from almost invisible because it's about them, which is narcissism. But because they can't, you see what I'm saying? So as we're evaluating what we want, we already talked about it in part 1, but in part 2, what lessons have you learned? What lessons have you learned about you? Where have you grown? Where do you feel like you stand to need further growth? It's not a negative thing, you guys. This is not beating us up or saying we're not good enough. It's just simply looking at where we need it, because that's the sign of growth. So as we're evaluating what we want, are we sitting and evaluating where we need further growth and development, or where we can use some type of expansion? Are we able to sit and see how maybe it's a mindset? It could be small to large, doesn't matter. And can we do what this gentleman did here? He said that he's owning it. He's taking full responsibility for it. Can we do it? Can we honestly do it without trying to, push it off? No. It's all their fault. It's all them. They're crazy. It's all them. It's never all them. Let me give you guys a case in point. I'll make it personal. Okay. So as Bloomy has sit and evaluated things, yes, I've been done wrong, guys. Yes, of course. I've had some outlandish shit happen. Yes, those things did happen. Yes, I was betrayed. Yes. Okay, I dealt with snakes and sharks and sneaky people. Absolutely. But let me tell you, I was in those things, okay? And this is not about beating me up either, okay? I was in these connections, okay, due to something that I still was not quite, I was still working on it, okay? I was still needing a little further healing, so I was seeking out, the wrong kinds of connections when all red flags and signs were there. And so I was just closing a blind eye. And, so this is me owning it. Okay. I wasn't truthfully, fully honest with myself. I wore a mask in the sense of that I knew something was off with an individual, in a sense of I put my own needs aside in the name of, um, appeasing a person and having a piece of a halfway connection. So I have to own those parts of myself as I'm sitting and I'm reviewing about what I want, okay, and my life review. Okay, where do I need growth and development so that when I'm ready to co-create another connection, that I'm not going in with the same energy. Now, you see where I'm going, guys? So if you feel comfortable as you come in, I was just sharing some things I learned about myself, taking responsibilities for some of my choices and connections here in my life in terms of where I needed growth, where I needed healing, where I needed development, what was still raw in me, okay? Instead of just only projecting it out and going, oh, they lunatic. Well, they probably were. But it was some trauma in me that was creating it to begin with. Okay? I still needed to grow and develop in different areas and phases and stages of life. Self-love is one of the main lessons. Self-love and self-worth is the foundation, it's the main lesson. So I lacked it. I lacked it, which allowed me to wear a mask, pretending that I was okay with relationships that I knew that were off, that I wasn't being treated properly, that something was wrong. You see where I'm going? So I have to own that. So moving forward, when I'm choosing people, if I'm getting my discernment and my alerts and my spidey senses and my, and yet I choose to continue on and I choose to stay and stay and stay, then that's me essentially just simply choosing it. So whatever happens, then whatever happens. But we can't whine and bitch and moan, can't whine and cry. But I can't believe, well, you had everything trying to show you that this may not be for you, that they may not be, that into you, that there may be something off about them. They may not be mentally well. We don't want to be paying attention to this stuff. Okay, so as you come on, what is something that you've learned about you, if you feel comfortable? And of course, use caution. I'm not asking you to, put yourself on total blast, but what do you feel like as you look in hindsight, like the gentleman said, in retrospect, that you realize, okay, well, maybe I was shitty. Maybe I had the bad attitude. Maybe I was shallow. Maybe I, took people for granted, so they went away. And maybe that was a main lesson of relationships for somebody. Learning how to value folks, because they will disappear. You don't value them. You don't treat them properly. Some folks will get the fuck on. A lesson about how to treat people, a lesson about being mindful of others, and what's important to you in terms of people coming to you. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see about how they have learned lessons? Because we all go into connections telling the person about how fucked up everybody is. Every last one of us do it. We go into relationships, friendships, and connections, and we saying about how everybody fucked up. How they was crazy, the bitch was crazy, the dude was crazy. We all do it. We do it. But what do you want to hear from a person to give you a sign of growth, a sign of maturity, a sign of introspection? Because you may be dealing with the person, if all we can ever do is be talking about what was wrong with the other people, you may be dealing with an undiagnosed narc or somebody that's extremely self-absorbed. and lack introspection, self-awareness, and this, beyond getting their needs and desires. Okay? And if that's the kind of person you're dealing with, this will be the clue to you that perhaps this ain't somebody you want to be on the, We need people who are able to be introspective, you guys, because otherwise you end up in a lopsided situation. If you're dealing with people who don't have introspection, it's going to always be you. So no matter what's going on, what has happened, is in their disillusioned sense of reality, it's going to always be you. It's you, it's you, it's you. Right? So it's nice for us to be able to see early on, right? Do this person, while they finna tell me about how horrible everybody, because ain't none of us perfect. Now none of us. I do understand that some of us haven't done as much crazy bad shit as others, but the point that I'm making is this is a journey. We're humans. We make mistakes. We get reared in toxic shit, and then we take on those toxic energies of the toxic people and toxic environments we've been in, and then we become that. And ideally, we learn how to heal from it. But again, I want to say again, it requires, though, this type of energy.
I could never use the stupid shit that I've done in my life as a warning to others. Is this, don't be a shitty human being. I ruined one of the best relationships I ever had. And I ruined it. Not to play the victim. To own it. I tell you this, that it sucks. The hindsight is 2020. Don't allow for outside attention. Focus on your fucking relationship.
Let me pause it. Don't allow for outside attention. Focus on your relationship. Don't allow for outside attention. Focus on your relationship. Don't allow for outside attention. Focus on your relationship. I'm doing it on a repeat for a reason, because I feel like that one statement is the heart and the foundation of fuckery. And we all later cry about connections later, but the heart and the foundation of things usually started right here. What he said. Don't allow. Hear what he said? Focus on your relationship.
Relationships don't work because, especially we as guys, can be so fucking stupid. And that the little bit of attention shown, that little bit of a rush that you get from it is nothing compared to the relationship that you have or the relationship that you're going to ruin. I have to restart my life.
The relationship you have or the relationship you're going to ruin. Sit with that. People think that stuff be harmless, but it's never harmless because it's sowing a seed of dissatisfaction within your own self and within a connection. Think about it like this in natural sense. I don't know if you guys like ice cream or if you're into ice cream, but let's say you like vanilla ice cream as a flavor. It's kind of maybe one of your primary flavors, and you're pretty good with it. You're cool with it. You work with it. You buy it most. This is your thing. You like, vanilla ice cream. But let's say you have a hankering for ice cream at large. Let's say you just have a hankering for ice cream, all flavors made. So even though you may have this bought you some top quality vanilla bean, bitch. You know what I'm saying? What's that? Briars and dryers and shit, bitch. Tillamook organic, whatever, right? Let's say you have some top of the line. You done got you a whole gallon, whoa, bitch. Your favorite vanilla, bitch. Okay? But let's say someone comes over, or let's say next door you have ice cream heaven or some shit, man. Ice cream heaven. that has every flavor of ice cream ever created. And let's say they make it old-fashioned, homemade, organic shit, the good shit. Okay? Even though you love that gallon, it's going to be a little bit hard, especially if it's easily accessible for you to go over there and get all of those flavors, right? So now you're becoming a little less satisfied with this vanilla, this organic, rare, rich, steady, tried and true vanilla bean ice cream and shit. Now, because of your exposure, it's losing its excitableness to you. It's losing it. And I'm only using, I know I'm kind of, minimizing it here, but that analogy of, because he's talking about attention, seeking attention and cutting out outside influence. Okay? We can't hide from the world. So I'm not implying that we hide from the world and the opposite sex. It's an inside job. And I get that. Okay? And I don't think that's what he was saying. I think he was really simply implying that if you're in a connection that you care about and you're trying to develop it, then at that time you need to be cutting out outside influence to give your relationship a fair try. Because otherwise you're not going to be satisfied as long as you are entertaining other flavors of ice cream and getting a high off of how each of those flavors taste, or getting a high off of how you're able to sneak about and taste each of those, flavors. That it is sowing poison into a connection, which is why connections die. Okay? You can't properly invest in connections if you are spread it across the rainbow. When we are entertaining, and please bear with me, take this in balance. He's really talking about he's had relationships and connections and ruined them because he needed a lot of attention. He was entertaining attention while in relationships. And it sowed seeds of dissatisfaction and caused him to ruin good relationships. So it's about that balance of, if you're in a relationship, then why are you still seeking? Why are you still entertaining? It's not, harmless. People think because if they didn't put penis in vagina or whatever people do to make themselves not feel like shit about their conduct, about entertaining options, right? It's not. And he, the gentleman is really just saying like, okay, dudes, if you have a connection, he's not talking about, if you're single, you're independent. It's like, if you have a connection, you shouldn't be playing with other toys, basically. You shouldn't be looking at them. You shouldn't be entertaining them, because this is sowing the seed to break up your connection. To make you feel like you don't got enough, to make you always want to go look at something else, taste the rainbow. It'll cause you to start being shitty because you're getting a temporary high from some little attention. They whole ass don't care nothing about you either because they getting attention elsewhere. You see the vicious cycle? So he was just saying, like, don't do that. Cut the shit out. These are lessons I feel like we all need to sit with if we're saying, for those of us anyway, for those of us that's saying we want a relationship, we want commitment, we want, it's like, okay, learn from this gentleman here. Prepare, like, okay, you can't fully invest in something when you're spread across the Americas. You can't. You'll be dissatisfied. That's the downplay. This is the downside to options. Because there's going to always be, okay, the thrill of the secret, the thrill of the strange, the thrill of this and that, but it ends in destruction. It never ends. Listen to him, y'all. Listen to what he's saying here.
And it's my fault, and I own that every single day. It'd be so fucking stupid. And that the little bit of attention shown, that little bit of a rush that you get from it is nothing compared to the relationship that you have or the relationship that you're going to ruin. I have to restart my life, and it's my fault. And I own that every single day. So don't make the same mistake that I did. Delete your Snapchat. Delete everybody out that is not a part of your relationship. Stupid. That you have with the relationship.
Delete, delete, delete. Delete, okay? Somebody says just found it, wow. But look, delete, delete, delete. And I know it's not popular, and take it in a balanced sense, because what he's, again, I'm going to keep reiterating it, what he's really simply trying to say. There's a lot of people that be in relationships playing single. Okay? They be in relationships with somebody, whether they're pretend, whatever they want to call it, but in a relationship with people playing single. So he's saying if you're in a relationship, delete. You have no business doing that. This is why the relationship is dying, because you're spread too thin. You're trying to swipe and Skype. You're trying to entertain and get attention from hole 2, hole 3, hole 4, hole 5. It's like, no. He's saying this is what ruins connections. He's admitting his flaws. That he had good relationships and good connections with folk, and he said he was a shitty person. And hoeing, essentially, constantly entertaining other options and allowing people to influence a connection. He said, cut that out. Stop allowing other people to influence your connection. Cut that out. Stop allowing outside influence. Stop entertaining things and value your relationship. Put your attention, efforts, time into the relationship. This is a huge lesson for us. And then it's like, if we were on the flip side of it, it's the lesson for us is learn how to detect when people are being what he's talking about. Okay? You don't have a connection in a relationship and be spread thin. I'm busy. The common I'm busy is bullshit. Busy swiping left and right. Yeah, busy doing that. Busy hoeing around Clark County in America's bitch. Busy, you know what I'm saying? Busy listening to retards and degenerates that's just as equally miserable and wants you to say. He's like, you got to cut that out. And learn to value. And what he said at the end, for me, it just seals the deal. Because I'm like, there's a whole lot of people today that's expensive to feel that one. Listen.
Shit that you're going to ruin. I have to restart my life, and it's my fault. And I own that every single day. So don't make the same mistake that I did. Delete your Snapchat. Delete everybody out that is not a part of your relationship. Just keep it your relationship. Value what you fucking have. Just value it, because it might not always be there. I could never use the stupid shit that I've done.
Because it might not always be there. Unfortunately, I feel like sometimes we think something's going to always be there. And this is a tendency of why people who like to taste the rainbow, they want all the colors and the flavors, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And they're in relationships. They think that good relationships are going to always be sitting there waiting. Or they be thinking that it's like a dime a dozen or easy. But like he's saying here, he's like, And he was talking about his own life. Like, don't be like me. He's like, don't do it. Don't be a shitty person, because it ain't going to always be there. Okay. So as we're preparing for what we want, we know what we want. We know what we need to be and become. But also, what are the lessons? And then what do you want to see from people coming in? And start asking yourself, whatever that means for you, what do you want to see? Because, we all wear an outfit, a uniform when we go on dates. I'm a wonderful guy. I'm a wonderful girl. I don't think there's going to be anybody that say I'm a shitty person. I've never met one that, what I'm saying, they just come out the cover, I'm really a shitty person, and you probably shouldn't even be on a date with me because I'm egotistical and competitive, and I have issues that I don't want to admit and deal with, and I'm really just using you to poof up my ego and fluff me up so I can feel better, and really have little to no interest in you. I just want to use your energy so I can feel like a man, so that I can feel like nobody is going to say that. Nobody's going to come off the cuff here. Yeah, I'm horrible. I am a horrible person. I lie. I don't keep my commitments. I sleep around. I'm willing to fuck anybody. I'm lusty. I just, that's really all I'm about. I just, nobody. Y'all, come on. Think of your whole own life. Whoever does that. And then later you discover that they were whores. Come on. Just be real about it. Never. So it serves us to learn how to pay attention. Watch their mannerisms, watch and listen, literally, not just hear, but listen to the stuff that's coming out of their mouths when you're out on these dates. Listen to the things that they're saying about their exes versus what they're saying about themselves. Listen to see if you see any form of introspection coming out of them. Listen to see if they're showing any real sincere interest in you outside of where they're trying to, y'all know where I'm going. Arm candy, lusty, but are they interested in you as a person? Like, have you ever just sat and like, let's see if this motherfucker, let's have some fun and see. And like, really just don't, you ain't got to judge them, and you ain't got to trip and make a scene, nothing. Just, sit there and just be like, let's see how long they talk about themselves before they inquire about who I am and what I do. Sincerely. Right? Or how my day was. Okay, so these are ways we can tell and start weeding out the people who are really just attention seekers versus relationship seekers. Relationship seekers are in for the long game. So they come in and they want to cultivate a friendship and get to know, let something happen organically, that is their intention. So they come in prepared. Okay, knowing that it's an investment, that this is not going to be some swipe left, swipe right, send me a nudie, send me this, come suck me, fuck me, they know that, okay, I want to get to know this person, which means an investment, right? A consistent investment, because I like them. We're starting at the like stage. I like them. So I want to know about them sincerely. I want to know about their day. I want to be a part of their world in every way that I can, in a balanced, healthy sense, because this is the long game. This is not about a quick high and a quick fix. Ooh, send me a nudie. I'm sending you nothing. Old Bloomy's nudie days is reserved for motherfuckers. I'm real with it. It's reserved for folks that stood the test. You ain't getting shit. Because I'm not interested in, I'm not saying people are bad, you guys, if that's who they are and where they're at, but that's not where I'm at in life. Okay, I'm interested in the long game, people who have a sincere connection, a desire to know me as a person and to invest. Not just because they're trying to see my hoo-ha, okay, or my boobies, Or, because I got a sexy, naughty side like everybody else. And those who have dated me know this. I do. Yes. But now and where I'm at in life, it's like it's not going to be that readily available. It's not that readily available. Because, see, if they seem to be flighty, if I start picking up on cues where they're flighty or there's some inconsistency, I'm not going to say anything to them. I'm going to let them reveal who they are. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to watch my discernment and see if they're just interested in any Sally's food flavor ice cream that's willing to suck their wiener or send them a nudie pic. Because I don't compete with that. I am a divine energy. Those days are over. I'm not competing with that. Okay? I reserve that energy for folks who have proven themselves worthy and have invested. You don't want to invest, and you don't get the golden goods, bitch. You don't get to sniff. You get some nothing, motherfucker. Because I will not be no. And that's me, you guys. That's just where I'm at. I hold myself in high value now. Wasn't always the case. So I'm okay with letting, to me, this is the elimination process. Shit, it's just like, let's see. But see, this is a part of figuring out who we are, what we want, what kind of characteristic traits you want to see people come in with, right? Come on, y'all, share some stuff with me. Share some experience. Haven't y'all ever wondered, like, okay, boom, bitch. I'm best to share some old shit. Okay, look. Nowadays, because of our technology and just everything fast, now, fast. As soon as you start talking to somebody, they are already calling you babe. Now, some people may figure, oh, that's fair enough, innocent enough. Maybe it is. But for me, it's that energy of, how when you get into a relationship, y'all start calling each other that. Right? But not before. At least that's my experience. I can even go back. I can go back in time, and I could think about even my connection with DM1. My friendship with DM1 was just that. Okay? Before we crossed into the other places we crossed into, he wasn't calling me babe, and I wasn't calling him. I wasn't calling him honey, babe, whatever the fuck I used to call him. What did I used to call him? Hotness or some shit. Who knows? I think I used to call him. Damn, what the? Man, that's letting you know that how long time ago shit, bitch. What did I call him? Okay, because he called me. He had little names for me. I had names for him, but not at first. My point. It wasn't right away. It wasn't soon as we met, bitch. As soon as we talked on the phone, it's like it did not go like that. Okay, it's like, okay, the cultivation, the getting to know each other. That's what we did. It was fast, but that's what we did. Okay. But now I'm starting to realize that a lot of people, it's like, man, you nice to them and they calling you babe, and it's like, but you barely ain't even hardly invested, motherfucker. It's like, sorry, that's just me. That's me. I'm sorry. That's just me. So I'm enjoying this whole process of learning and evaluating and checking myself as well. And it's got me excited because I feel like it's just only getting me closer to what I want. Because I'm like, ooh, noted. Ooh. Once upon a time, I used to be so, you guys, I'm just like anybody else. I bleed red, flaws, all that. I'm just like anybody else. And once upon a time, It used to be like so super flattering, okay? Not being silly. It used to be so flattering, all right? When motherfuckers was like, ooh, I know people think I'm sexy, y'all. Look it, I ain't trying to be all, tootie my own horn here, but I'm just gonna keep it on the one hand. Look, motherfucker, yeah, I know, boom, bitch. Oh, I know, motherfuckers think I'm sexy as fuck. Too sexy for my right. I have a lot of sexual heat. I actually do, and I know I do. A lot of fire in my chart. I got a lot of sexual heat. But I'm no longer impressed. Hear me out. Hear me out. There's nothing wrong with compliments. Everybody likes compliments. All I'm simply saying is that I'm not impressed. Here's why. The next hoe is sexy as fuck to them. They saying that to 12 other whores. Oh. Y'all follow me yet? So I'm not impressed because they notice the obvious. What impresses me is someone that has an interest in my soul and who I am and have noted the beauty of my personality, the beauty of the energy of my nature, and making some comments on that. And not only making comments on it, but holding it in high honor. Not the individuals that they can make the comments on that, but they hold in high honor whores. Sluts and whores, and whores and sluts. Sluts and whores, and whores and sluts. Sluts and whores, whores and sluts, sluts, whores, 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 sluts, whores, whores, whores. Or, look, I'm just playing around, you guys. People who is easy. I hate to say it for lack of better words, easy. The ones gonna suck and fuck the quickest. The ones gonna show parts and pictures and text messages the fastest. Ooh, they're willing to show me that. But these same people be dissatisfied. The same folks be the ones on my videos, bitch. Later in life, motherfucker. They be the same ones that ain't happy. They didn't fuck themselves senseless. And still, you see what I'm saying? Because they still haven't grown up to figure out that those things are empty in and of itself. They're not going to serve. You're going to still sit in that energy looking for another high. Still looking for the next hoe. And this includes men as well. So don't get it twisted. Okay? Constant, insatiable. That's the downside of this easily accessibleness when people don't heal and balance out. The man said it, couldn't have said it better than him. I couldn't have said it better. Cut that shit out. Give relationships a fair shot. You're not giving them fair shots when you're talking to your ex-hoe from 2010, bitch. When you're listening to your degenerate, retarded single friends that fucked half of your whores. Like you're not when you're listening to your retarded ass family members that's codependent as fuck. Like, come on. They'll sell your soul, sell you out for $5, bitch. Oh. Cut that shit out and invest in something to give it a fair shot. That's the only way we'll learn whether or not something had potential. And this is not about just the friendship. This is about when we have chosen to be in an actual relationship with somebody. Right? Now, while dating, I'll even say the same. It's like, what are your motivations and intentions in it? But be clear. Because like I said, there are people who want to be single, like the single life, but they're willing to pretend future faith. They're willing to pretend relationship for a benefit. It's common. Okay? I know we don't want to believe it, but you know, there are people who are they're not healed, they're immature, they're underdeveloped, they're selfish. This is life on earth. So they will say whatever you need, honey. They're gonna say whatever. They'll poo-poo. They'll tell you you're Miss America, bitch, okay? They'll tell you you have the best hoo-ha God ever made on earth, bitch. If that's all it takes to get you to flip for them. They'll tell you, I was never into this other chick. I don't want him. They probably secretly in love. But they'll tell you whatever you need to hear to get you to pay their bills, to get you to give them one more chance. They'll say whatever. Oh, you need somebody to say nice things, and so they'll say nice things then. And they still gonna be a hoe though, bitch. They still hoe and they ain't never gonna do shit. You need roses? Okay, some of them even go that far. Okay, if I give her roses, will she shut the fuck up? So I can go over here and fuck Sally super easy down the street? They'll do it. Like evaluating these things and paying attention. Let's hear him again. Let's hear old, what's his name? Motherfucker. I did this duet today, so you guys will be able to later go and check it out. It's here. It's actually here on TikTok. Okay. And I created a duet, and it just blessed my socks off because I'm like, good, finally. Good. I like that. I like hearing raw energy. Okay? Raw. Just like, this is the way it is, bitch.
Done in my life as a warning to others is this: don't be a shitty human being. I ruined one of the best relationships I ever had, and I ruined it. Not to play the victim, to own it. I tell you this, that it sucks. The hindsight is 2020. Don't allow for outside attention.
Outside
Focus on
attention.
your fucking relationship. Relationships don't work because, especially we as guys, can be so fucking stupid. And that the little bit of attention shown, that little bit of a rush that you get from it is nothing compared to the relationship that you have or the relationship that you're going to ruin. I have to restart my life, and it's my fault. And I own that every single day. So don't make the same mistake that I did. Delete your Snapchat. Delete everybody out that is not a part of your relationship. Just keep it your relationship. Value what you fucking have. Just value it. Because you might not always be there. I could never use...
I just want to clap every time I hear that. I'm like, oh, he said it. He said it in 60 seconds. Everything. This is imperative. So whoever he is wearing shit, is he single, bitch? Anyways, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding, y'all. Don't trip. Don't tell them or try to inbox who he is. I'm just playing, being silly because I'm like, shit, bitch, boom, you single motherfucker. Because it sounds like he's someone who has learned. He's not perfect. He just simply sounds like an individual, a mature man that called bullshit on his own bullshit and learned the value, okay, of relationships and what, the consequence of lack of value to a relationship by entertaining other options and allowing outside attention and outside influence could do to a relationship, whether this is friends, family, baby mamas, baby daddies, exes, whoever. He's basically saying, cut it out. People trying to hook you up with motherfuckers, all that kind of energy, especially ones that's knowing you're in a connection, cut that shit out. Okay? So since I didn't get anybody to really come in, I think somebody came in and said, just found, and wow, I'm walking that path. Nice. I'm walking that path. It's a journey, and it could be fun. I actually do enjoy, y'all, listen, I enjoy the part where you get to put yourself back out there again. That's the fun part. Because then that's the part you test your gangster. See, your gangster don't get tested until once you healed and did a significant amount of work on yourself, and you're still doing it. But like with each stage, that's how you test where you're at. Like, okay, boom. Am I going to break boundary? Am I going to give too much of myself to somebody who's obviously showing they're not that vested? Am I going to, like all these little things you don't find out until you test your gangster. Get back out there. But like, let me go on a couple few days, bitch. Boom. Oh, let's see. So look, y'all, because look, Bloomy Bloom done figure some shit out. I know what I want, man. I know who I am. I know what I bring. I know what I want. So it's like, I ain't gonna just put it on blast status. I want it to be organic. I want to see how the exchange, that mutual exchange, goes back and forth to see what unfolds, right? Because I'm looking for some sincere friendships. To be quite honest, I'm looking for friendships above anything. Friends first. If people can't pass my friendship test, they're not getting in my hoo-ha. They'll never see it. They'll never see it. They'll never smell it. They'll never touch it. If they can't pass my friendship test, in other words, show some integrity, show that they have a vested interest in me as a friend, show a level of consistency, show that they care, show that they want to be an integral part of my life, show that, if they don't show that, then they'll stay in a zone. I'll keep them in a zone. Okay? But they won't get the golden goods. They got to graduate. They got to graduate through the stages, bitch. It's like, oh, you want, okay, nah, you ain't, nope. I need to see that you're a friend. Are you handy? You gonna come kill some spiders, motherfucker? Everybody wants to sit up and lay up. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't getting none of that. You gonna kill some spiders, bitch? When I see the bugs, motherfucker, you gonna have to show yourself as someone that is interested in me on a whole scale. A whole. Not just, ooh, I feel so fuzzy inside. You are going to feel fuzzy inside around me. The byproduct of dealing with a divine feminine. You are absolutely going to feel all those ooey gooey feelings. This is why I'm guarding it. Okay? Because if you fickle, then I'm going to be fickle. I'm going to be fickle with my get up. You ain't seeing nothing. You ain't getting no feel. I ain't gonna let you cop a feel. You ain't gonna get nothing, no kiss, bitch, nothing. You gotta pass the test. Are you a decent human being? He said, don't be a shitty person. That's the first thing I'm looking for. You gotta be a decent human being. You gotta show some sympathy, some empathy, and sensitivity. To me. Fuck all whatever. To me, I gotta see it. To me. So I hope this helps. If nothing else, make you think, right? Because that's really what this is about. It's not about us judging ourselves and being hard and even giving people a hard time. It's more about us just being able to observe. Okay? And if people are looking, susceptible, looking kind of shysty and shady in their conduct, okay, chances are you know you're a relationship person, and chances are they're the type, I call them eternal bachelors or bachelorettes, that pretend to want relationships in order to get what they want out of motherfuckers. So you have to watch for that, because honey, if we're waiting for people to just tell us this is why it don't happen. I used to be this way. I used to be this way. Okay, you wasting time, honey. A whore is a whore, man or woman. A player is a player, whatever you want to call it. We can say, oh, just keep it real. Well, they're not, unreal can't keep it real. Okay? The unreal can't keep it real. They're going to say whatever they need to say to get what they want to get. And if they see you're a glutton, you have a hankering for attention, then they're going to give that to you to get you to part them legs and them dollar bills. Okay? They see you got a hankering, you know what I'm saying, for somebody to hug you or kiss you, whatever your kryptonite, your Achilles heel, then they're gonna love bomb and pour that on you until the next best thing come along. Until the next hole that's willing to do a little more. Until the next hole that's willing to do a little more. And then they'll orchestrate a big old fight and say it's not for them. See, you have to learn how to pay attention to that. If folks ain't giving you the investments that you're willing to put in, that you're putting in, then there's a cause for it. Okay, there's a reason. And it ain't because they work a 9 to 5, bitch. Because I can promise you in 2022 that every last one of us put time, energy, effort, and resources. We figure the shit out into what matters to us. We will do whatever the fuck we have to do to make it count. So that whole work, busy, all that shit is hogwash. Busy hoeing. Busy being a con artist. Busy entertaining other options. Busy being a dizzy drunk. Busy, okay? But if they're that vested in you as they're trying to convince you of, they will prove this to you, okay? And as you start getting out there and dating again, listen to what these people are saying. Don't get caught up in the flattery, because after they flatter you, they're going to flatter 5 other whores, okay? I'm just keeping it real. We can't get too enamored by that, okay? Just watch them. And have some fun and put yourself out there. And don't put all your eggs in one basket until someone has determined a real connection with you, and that has been clearly understood on both sides. Okay? But if that hasn't been, fuck that, because you can bet your bottom dollar they talking to other motherfuckers. Okay? All right, you guys. Love and light.